We put on our mask, then we've identified the equipment we needed to gather, right? I guess we already kind of poured ourselves a little bit, so you would have said, okay, I need roughly 100 milliliters, and you would look and pour it. It doesn't say safety goggles. I would say if you're going to choose any equipment to use in this case, it would have been safety goggles, but that's just me. So then you are going to get ready to do your solution, dilution, I guess is what you can call this. So it says here that you are going to fit your pipette aids securely to the top of the pipette. Just so you guys know, these are generally sterile, and that's why they're packaged this way. You can either open from either edge, or the easy way is just to pull it like that over the plastic is the fast way to open it. So then you take out your serological pipette, and you can either pull it apart or just rip the paper over the other side. There you go. These are nice. I don't think it has you keep it, but you can like store them back in there. Is usually the safest way to keep your salt from dripping liquid everywhere. So then you're going to fit your pipette aid to the top of your pipette band.
Just kind of jiggle it on. Isn't there a way to like loosen it or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It just kind of stays on top of it. You just, there should be a little hole at the bottom of the white piece, and you just stick your pipette into that. Is it not fitting? Maybe yours needs a blue one.
Okay.
Or I think the blue might be, that's a bigger pipette that you have. Try that.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you guys notice there's cotton at the top? Why do you think that might be there? What does cotton generally do? Yeah, so it's meant to catch any last bits of liquid. You should never aspirate past the maximum, which on this one should be 5. Okay, there it is. So 5 is all the way down here. You have to be going crazy to pull liquid all the way up there. You can mess these up if you aspirate liquid into them, especially the electric ones. So you just don't want to pipette past the point that you should. So it says fit the pipette aids to the top. Keep the pipette vertical and insert the pipette tip below the surface of the liquid into the beaker containing the solute. So this is like our acid or something that we're wanting to dilute. And they're saying keep this vertical. And then let's say I want to withdraw 3 milliliters. I need to make sure I'm looking and kind of count ahead. So I'm going to go to the little number 3 on mine. And I'm just going to use the little wheel to pull up the liquid. And if you overshoot like I just did right here, you can just push it the other way and it stays in there. You don't have to start all the way over. Okay, so you just pull up with the wheel. And then it tells us after that, you remove the pipette from the solute in the vertical position, so don't tilt it. And then they want you to wipe the outside, so we're going to pretend we wiped it with a little wipey. Okay, so you're going to say, I'm wiping my pipette off. I would never personally do this in research because then you run the risk of knocking your pipette off and spilling liquid everywhere. But HOSA thinks that's a great idea. So we're going to carefully wipe our pipette off. Then it says I'm going to confirm the correct solute by checking the label name, not 1, not 2,
3 times.
but 3 times. So I am going to keep holding this. Oh, and by the way, the tissue, you're only wiping up here. You're not supposed to touch the edge of the pipette. So read that carefully. So you've got that. You're going to check the label. Do I have acid in there? Yes? I do. Okay, so just triple checking that I've got what I needed there. Then it says that you are going to touch the pipette tip to the inner wall of the beaker and slowly lower the fluid level using the pipette aid or the lower point of the meniscus. So essentially, you're just slowly going to I think it's saying you're just going to slowly make sure that this is close to the bottom. So it should be already. I'm just going to be careful here. Ooh, see, that's why I wouldn't typically do that in research. But it says you want to like verify that there's not a big gap here at the bottom, I think. So if you check and it's close, I think you've done your job. So then it says you're going to touch the, or move the pipette and hold it vertically over the beaker with the solvent. So I'm holding it vertically over that one. I place the pipette tip against the inner wall. This is something you always want to do. Why do you think that is? Yeah, so you avoid splashing, and it just goes carefully down the side wall. That way, you also don't drop this if you lose your, kind of gives you some bearing. So then you're going to hold it there and release the section on the pipette aid slowly, or just use the wheel to slowly release the liquid like this into your solvent. You would obviously want to hold that with your other hand until it's gone. It says you left the pipette tip in contact with the inner wall of the container 1 to 3 seconds to allow the correct volume to be delivered. You do that. It's been a while. I think we're good. So then I think we're done. So the steps, simply put, I just want to go through like as quickly as we can with if you were really making a solution in a lab. Wash your hands, put on your face mask, get my materials. I've poured my solvent into my beaker. Okay, so I've got my yellow liquid that's absorbing my solute. Got my pipette aid filler, my serological pipette. I've then placed it into this one. I just wheel up to the right amount, which might be, see right there. Oh, I checked my label. Remember, I had to check my label.
Yeah, it does say check it 3 times, and then it specifically says when to do it. Prior to drawing up your solute.
So I just got knocked off a point because I didn't triple check my solute.
While you're removing the solute. And then the 3rd time would be when you're finished with the solute.
Yeah, so they want you to really make sure. I mean, it's not the worst thing. It's just that generally you would only pull one thing off the shelf as a precaution. But, I mean, never hurts, I guess, to triple check. So then the judge, it says, has to verify the correct measure, so you would have done that. I don't totally understand what G is saying.
I think they just want to check the meniscus and make sure you're truly at the volume you say you're at.
Okay, yeah.
It looks like it says the lower part of the meniscus needs to be at the desired volume. It doesn't say tip.
Yeah, I just don't know how you would, okay.
It says touch the pipette tip to the inner wall of the beaker and slowly lower your fluid level until the low part of the meniscus is touching your desired volume marking. So it's basically correcting any over volume measurement you did in the blue.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they're asking you to dispense any leftovers so that you know you're at the right volume.
And then, that makes so much more sense. And then I've gone there and I'm like, okay, now I'm at 3.
Yeah, if you were ahead of 3.
Thank you, that makes so, I was just
it's like
do you make sure it's like clear at the bottom? So then, that's when you then can, the judge has checked, you move it vertically, you hold it here, and then you expel slowly against the wall above the beaker.
And you leave it there for how long?
3 seconds.
1 to 3 seconds.
And then I remove it. And if I were you, this is how I would always dispense or dispose, is just slip it back into here. That way you don't have like dripping pipettes everywhere.
Okay, so it says on the back side, the pipette, but not the blowout pipette or the volumetric pipette. What are you using?
Serological. I have no idea what blowout, and neither does Mark really. I've never heard those.
Our chemist in the building doesn't know what a blowout pipette is. I have no idea.
I think he said that that's where they do something to make it really accurate, but
That's the only kind I've ever used too.
Yep.
Okay, so it says to examine the pipette tip, a small drop of fluid should remain in the tip, or you would use your pipette aid to force out the last drop of solution from the tip into the beaker. Do you still have fluid in yours? Well, now that you've put it in. Yeah.
But it's
I guess there's a device you can use to blow out the last drop. I don't know.
I'm not going to show mouth pipetting.
No. People do it, by the way. People do it.
Why do they do it?
I don't know.
I don't either.
With your mouth. Yeah, my dad did it to move gasoline one time.
Oh, because I guess if you don't have a pipette filler, then...
He just closed it off before the gasoline got up into his mouth.
I almost mouth pipetted to try to get my fish tank water flowing.
Yeah, it creates a vacuum, so...
But yeah, I think that's the gist of it, guys, is you just use your serological pipette. Here, the wheel pulls up. It also pushes out. And then you're just transferring solutions from one to the other.
Yep, and then look at the last few steps. We're going to put our used glassware in whatever cleaning solution the scenario dictates, so they'll probably have something called storage that you're putting it in. And then it reads, you're going to clean your work surface with disinfectant. Remove your gloves. You guys know the protocol for that, right? We've gone over that a few times.
So pulling here.
Yeah, and then they do the 2 hands on the inside of the wrist movement. And then toss those into biohazard. Go wash your hands. You can verbalize it. And then lastly, we have to go over calculations.